which means it's being Thursday, it's Blabbing for Britain. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen.
And we say welcome to the show. And a special announcement before we get underway. Blabbing for Britain has its first ever bot working today. And it's as a thank you to everybody who's here. You get a thank you from John and I and Peter and Stephen when you make your first comment on the show today. And it will go something like this. And we do appreciate you. So we put that on today just to say thank you to everybody who actually catches the show, either live or on the replay. It's a new bot that I'm testing out at the moment. And we explained a lot about it in yesterday's show with RJ. But it does look very interesting. Because, John, it can track comments on any post. And you can reply to those comments automatically.
Yes, I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Sent an email about some software that does that yesterday from a company called Usign. So
all right.
I haven't had a look at that, but it automates a lot of Facebook actions, including replies to comments.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, this is Blabbing for Britain, and at my count, this is episode 159. Because I forgot to number last week's episode. It was Happy New Year. It was a Happy New Year one, so I had to track back and find. I found episode 157, so I'm presuming that 158 was last week and 159 is this week. We occasionally do lose a week, but it's definitely around that count. And it won't really matter until we get towards the 200. We'll have to make sure we do have 200 episodes. Yeah. Okay. Now, I haven't heard from Peter. I haven't heard from Stephen. So we'll carry on and see what happens. And the first topic today we can go to is, well, the M6 was closed yesterday, which is a motorway which links the Midlands with Scotland. And it was closed because of information given to the police about a lorry. And that lorry was actually, or truck, whichever you want, was actually carrying 27 immigrants.
Oh, right. It seems a bit of an over-the-top reaction to close the whole of the M6.
Well, there were apparently about 40 police cars. This was going northbound, and it was near Kiel Services. 40 police cars tore up the motorway, closed the motorway both directions until they'd apprehended the 27. Because what happened as soon as they opened the doors, the 27 legged it. So that's why they needed so many police officers to actually get all the people, which they did, and then take them to a local immigration centre where they're now being processed, is the phrase. But it was just extraordinary. And it had a knock-on effect, which is closer to what we normally talk about. And that is, if I can find it, hundreds of Burton Albion supporters were affected.
Oh, right, yeah, because they were going north for Man City, weren't they?
They were going to... So hundreds of supporters who were actually travelling on the motorway at the time were caught up in what can best be described as an 18-mile traffic jam. And, of course, never got anywhere near the stadium in Manchester to actually watch their team play. And, of course, this was the semi-finals of the League Cup, which we celebrate, of course. The result was, well, do you think it was a good idea that they missed it, or should they have been there when they got beat 9-0?
They should have been there.
Yeah.
Well, never expected them to be anything other than beaten, but...
Well, no, but 9-0, and the crowd, the Manchester crowd, were shouting for a 10th, and because there wasn't a 10th, Burton found victory, or at least, they were trying to keep that 10th goal out. Because that would have been a record, but 9 goals. The FA Cup, however, is different from the League Cup insofar as it's certainly watched worldwide. Guess who Burnley are drawn against in the FA Cup?
I did know and I've forgotten.
They're drawn against Manchester City.
Oh, right. Well, they've still got to win the other half of the semi, haven't they, Manchester City?
You are ever the optimist, John. But I don't think you can actually reverse a 9-0 defeat. It just ain't going to happen. I mean, there's all sorts of stories here. I mean, Nigel Clough is the Burton Albion manager for the second time round. And he's got to get his team together for the return match. And they only need 10 goals, don't they, really?
Well, it's at home at the Pirelli Stadium. The miracles can happen.
Right. Okay.
So if they scored 9, it'd have to get penalties, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So you'd end up with an outrageous score of 14 for one of the sides. Well,
who knows? Who knows? Anything's possible in football. Even Burnley can win from time to time. But my heart says Burnley will beat Manchester City in the FA Cup. My head says no. Okay, so that's the football story of the week, which involved being trapped on.
I haven't got a correspondent to talk to about Stoke's new manager.
Yeah, they've changed again, haven't they?
They sacked Rowett on Tuesday, and they've appointed Jones, is it? I think he's.
Well, no, the man with the knowledge about Stoke City is a Stoke City fan, and he's going to join us now. We say hello to.
He's arrived, has he?
We say hello to Mr. Stephen Silk. Hello, Stephen.
Morning, John. Sorry I'm late. Morning, Stephen.
No, you're good.
Nathan Jones, you've been gone too long, apparently. Bananarama hit from the 80s. It's during Stoke City. There's a press conference later on, which will be as crap as all the other press conferences the last 3 managers have been. But he comes with apparently good wishes in the main from the various forums I've had a look at. And let's face it, he can't do much worse. So
he stopped Luton Town being relegated when they were in the relegation zone when he was appointed. The following season, he took them up.
Yep, can't.
And now that's from League 2, and now they're 3rd in League 1.
It would be interesting to see if he plays the young little Bojan, who had a falling out with it was what's his brother? I can't remember his name. The manager's gone. Gary Rowett, yeah. He fell out with Bojan, and he publicly said he's not as good as he used to be, you know. And yeah, Shuey is. Shuey, Paul Sheldon's just said finally he's gone. Morning, Paul. And we're just any change is obviously going to be an impact. Let's hope it's a positive impact when we play Hightish. Hopefully it'll make a big impact. We got to play Shrewsbury, who we had a miserable draw. Anyways, it's just Stoke. But yeah, so hello, how are we?
Keeping going would be the best description.
Both I think we've both got the fluey bug, so
yeah.
Everybody's got it.
Can't transmit it across the internet to you.
No, you're quite safe. I mean, I know Fonz. Our friend Fonz caught it over Christmas, and he's only just returned to the office yesterday.
Yeah.
So it's a long haul sort of thing, sort of 2 weeks. I'm hoping that it's totally dissipated by the time I go to Dublin with Facebook. They will totally mess that up.
Did you perhaps mention that you're going to Dublin with Facebook? Oh, hear that, John?
I just had to drop that in.
With Facebook.
And we say good morning to.
Oh no, the fiery
Stewart.
Here he goes. Here he comes.
Hello. Morning, Peter. You bathed in a glowing light.
See that?
You're light.
Let me an iPad again.
No, I'm actually on the desktop. Would you believe?
Oh, we believe it. We do. Right. Okay. Now you've missed the Manchester City 9, Burton Albion 0 story. You've missed the 27 immigrants arrested on the M6 yesterday and closing the M6. Any comments on either of those? Yeah, it was at Kiel, wasn't it, Stephen?
No comments on the football. Yeah. I think somebody said they should have laid off them, but no, score as many goals as you want. That's what it's about, you know. And the humiliation will make them feel better. Why is there a glow about me? No, so that's that. The immigration. What can you say about immigration? There's nothing you can say.
Anything you like, Pete. You usually do. Go.
There's absolutely nothing we can do. Bring them all in, yeah? Let them come through. Come on, Britain. When you come on, we need you. Yeah.
There's only 27 of them, Peter. It's not it's quieting things down. Okay.
No, wait a minute. So should we just open up there and say, hey, don't risk going over the water. Just come in. We'll let you in. We'll get buses over for you. Yeah, we'll send you buses. Yeah. And all the people that say, come in, they'll be go to your houses. Get a room ready. Lily Allen and all these people. Get a room ready for them. Anyway, that's my liberal view on it. Yeah.
Okay. And I think Stephen's frozen. Can anybody see Stephen moving? Don't all speak at once. It's just helpful.
No, it's frozen. It's frozen. I'm not frozen because my heater's really hot.
I think the land of the past has gone frozen. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Hopefully Stephen will be back in a moment as we move on to the next topic of the day. And we've just been through Christmas, so the Christmas sales. And John Lewis, despite a 1% increase, their bonus is in doubt. Now, John Lewis is a store in the UK, his department store, is actually owned by its staff. And they get an annual bonus, which can be worth up to 2 months of their salary. And that is in doubt because the Christmas sales were bad for M&S and Debenhams too.
Their days are numbered. Their days are numbered.
What, John Lewis?
Even John Lewis, their days are numbered. I tell you.
What, you mean the high street days are numbered?
The high street, no, this is going to be the future. This is the future. I'll predict the future. So you will get on and they will have lots of people sitting online on videos waiting to meet you. Hello, Mr. Stewart, what are you looking for today? Do you know, I was looking for a new battery-operated shaver. Was there anyone in particular? Yeah, the brawn one, Bubba. I'll just go and get a demo for you. Then, and you bring it out and you go, this can do that, could you do that? Would you like to buy that, sir? Show me another one. Right, do. Yeah, okay, I'll take that. You know my address. Put that into my account. Thank you very much. Send it out. I'll pick it up in the town from your pickup place, or I'll pick it from a locker that you've got, distribution point, or send it right to my house. And that will be the future. And it will be personal shoppers online. May even be robots that, artificial intelligence that know who you are, your shopping habits. That's what I think will happen in the future.
How long?
I can't predict how long, but
do it.
I don't think it'll be all that far off in the future.
Well, both M&S and Debenhams have got a strong internet presence anyway. I mean, M&S sell quite a bit online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't agree with Peter.
Okay, John.
I
The floor
think
is yours.
we're heading for the top of the curve, and shopping online won't fall, but because the market gets bigger, people are going to go back to the high street. I bought next to nothing on the internet this Christmas, whereas the previous Christmas, I bought virtually everything on the internet.
No. I bought virtually everything on the internet.
I got better prices in the high street for what I bought.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I did my research on the internet, and then I went in and said, "Can you beat that?" And I'll save £5 here, £4.50 there.
Yeah. Well, they said they'll come back, but it'll be a different shopping experience because we've got Union Street here in Aberdeen, which is just full of betting shops and charity shops, and they need to probably pedestrianise it, have more pubs, have more family events in it, and I don't know, they're going to have smaller shops where you can go online and look at the stuff, you know. Something's got to change. The old traditional ways can't stay the way they are. Yeah.
But what's gonna go first then? I mean, if you're talking about Debenhams, aren't there a load of lots of concessions and stuff like that, shoes and shirts and perfumes and things. So they aren't all going to go at once, are they? There'll be an order of collapse, so to speak. I mean, perfumes would be okay. You go in and smell them, don't you? But
yeah.
Maybe we could offer nice and get paid shitloads of money for it. You know, you could become the voice of the future, Pete.
But no, that is the way I see it. I always said long ago that one day we'll have wristwatches we can speak into, and this was years and years and years ago. Because I'm a visionary, and all those sorts of
Pete,
things are happening.
You're our visionary.
Yes. And even today, I was talking to my pest control business, put it on a forum, who's using electronic traps, about putting traps down that inform us when something comes in to the trap, right? And that got into a bit of a debate. He says you shouldn't have to do that if there's comments on it now. And basically, you can go on a Monday and check now, but a mouse could come in on a Tuesday. But if you didn't which we do, have electronic traps that send an SMS to you, it says trap number 3 has went off. Please attend or do something about it, and just let you know. And that is the future in pest control. I've always said that. So even my industry is going to change.
And we're going. Are you still going down to Pestex, then, Pete?
I've booked my flight and I booked my plane.
Well, we'll be there to see you, mate. We'll be there to. Oh, I'm going to meet a man off the internet.
Yeah.
Right. Talking of
so pale. Do I look pale on here? Is that a different colour?
No, your lighting is orangish.
Well, I've got orangish walls. That's what it is.
Right. Okay. Now, talking of the future, it's CES 2019, and Amazon and Google Assistant are actually carving up the tech.
CES, not CES. Right, in Lancashire with an eagle.
Is that any better?
Gorgeous.
It's still orange.
Yeah.
Like
orange monster man.
orange.
No, I think it's the bulb itself, Peter. It's not a clear bulb, is it?
No.
Anyway.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Right. Okay. We've had the Amazon versus Google debate before, but they are taking over the world. These voice-controlled. It's going to be a voice-controlled world, and somebody's got what's the thing? A parasol, which responds to Amazon Alexa. So you can say parasol up, parasol down, and it's Alexa enabled, so you can have it on your patio, and you can have a conversation with Alexa whilst you're sipping your afternoon drink. But obviously not at the moment because it's darn cold out there. Okay.
Yeah, well, I've got an Amazon Echo and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. And I just wish it could do a bit more.
Like what, Peter?
Well, my particular one, I can't phone anybody through it, right? but I've got the Amazon Echo, and you can't put your phone through it, which is a bit disappointing, but I didn't choose it. And there's Amazon Show now, where they'll bring up a video. There's the diary. You can do your diary, but you've got to set. It's all the setting up first. But I'm even having a problem with my individual speakers. These type of speakers to go into it. There's been a problem with Amazon Echo getting that sorted out. I did get it working, but the app's not working just now. So there's been a few, but I just think it's very good. It's very good so far. I mainly use it for the radio to find out what the weather's like for cycling. What do you use yours for?
Alexa, play BBC Radio 4.
Did you know you can link your BBC account to this skill? I've sent details to your Alexa app. You'll find them on the app home screen. Here's Radio 4. The BBC.
And I'll tell you what it told.
Alexa, stop. Right,
yeah.
Okay.
So ahead.
Okay, Google, what's the time?
It's 10:22.
Mr. Wolf. And I'll tell you what it does. It can do a big rasping fart as well, because I was doing it yesterday with Sheila's granddaughter. She thought it was hilarious.
I was playing Mr. Clarkson and Co. on Prime, and Mrs. Google suddenly started chattering away.
Yeah, I've only had it come on once.
Google, but
I've only had it come on. I've only had it come on once when it shouldn't have, and it doesn't respond to swearing if you swear at it.
Siri does.
Siri does, it answers you back.
You're completely at odds with your vision, your sound, Peter.
Well,
It's weird, isn't it?
Just a minute.
You're happily chatting away and your lips aren't moving.
Can you try again, Peter?
I'll refresh.
Yeah.
I know when I'm not wanted.
I'll be back in a second.
Don't let him in! Don't let him in!
Okay. Now, have we had a Trump story yet this year?
Oh God.
Are we bothered?
All right then. No Trump stories.
Go on.
I guess you all watched The West Wing?
I have.
Yeah.
Years ago, and that was just brilliant entertainment, and that's all we've got over there at the moment is Orange Monster. It's just entertaining. It's like a horror show.
Yeah,
and
the worry is there's not so many people who think he's a god. That's what worries me.
That's reducing, which is a good thing. But there's a million federal employees who are due to be paid tomorrow who don't know if they're going to get paid. They don't know.
Been paid from December, haven't they?
No.
Tomorrow's the
paycheck. The monthly paycheck is due tomorrow.
Yeah.
Transfer to banks. So you say, "Oh, that's a shame." Well, of course, it's a bloody shame because most people live paycheck to paycheck, and the people who are not going to get paid are people like air traffic controllers,
park rangers,
people who do is it TSA, isn't it? Who search your bags and go through immigration and stuff. Oh, and the FBI. And
right.
CIA. And you think, it's absolute. I often there are no words to describe. I mean, I used to hate people like Blair and all those sorts, but Sue told me hate is a bad emotion; it's self-destructive. So now I just despise them, which is cool. But I just how a group of people like the Republicans can do what they do. It's absolutely unbelievable. I cannot believe it. Which makes it a sort of a fictional story to watch.
Trump wants 5.2 billion.
There's somebody at the front door.
Democrats have offered 1.5.
Say again, mate.
I said, there's somebody at the front door. Could you please take me off for a minute?
Right. Okay, we've done that. Yeah. The situation is that it's horse trading. It's holding people to ransom. It's illogical. Peter, tell us why this is a good idea not to pay 1 million people the wages that they're due.
Well, actually, I don't think it's right, in all honesty, because these people deserve their wages and they shouldn't, no matter who it is, they shouldn't be used as pawns in something like this, because it's a different story when they need them, you know? And I think it's totally unfair. And they should, whatever they do, they should make a law in the future that this shouldn't be allowed to happen again, whether you're Democratic or whether you're Republican or whether you're an independent. They shouldn't be allowed to use the people as pawns like that.
Right, we're all on the same page. It just doesn't make sense.
No, no. And remember, just to say that I think every president in the past has used it. Every one of them.
Right, okay.
You are aware of that, yes?
Oh yeah, I mean the way that the finance is structured in the USA is so complicated, and well, to actually tie one funding source to another is stupid in the extreme.
Yeah.
But Trump is actually giving a major speech today, which he might, they say, do an executive decision and say, right, okay, I'm going to take 3 billion from the army, I'm going to take 1 billion from here and 1 billion from there. That's my 5 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Complicated it is, and unfortunately,
you see, I can see how he's playing. I can see how he's playing. I say, I wanted that wall. I said I would try to get the wall. Now remember, the people that stopped me getting the wall are these people here, the Democrats. They've done everything to stop this wall. I wanted the wall. I was going to give it to you. But remember, when it comes to voting, look at them first before you look at me. And that's the way they're going to play it. And the Democrats are going to say, hey, listen, we want you to flood over the border into the South because we will get your vote. And it means that we can stay in power. That's my view.
David, he's off.
I know. Well, you can't extrapolate some of these hypotheses from where you are, Peter. It just doesn't. Right, on to the next topic. He said, let's get something we can all just sit here and just say nothing. Now, this is a strange one. We know that next Tuesday, the House of Commons are going to vote on Theresa May's Brexit package. And Theresa May is out and about wooing Labour Party members or Labour Party MPs by saying that she will guarantee that the UK will maintain the rights which are enshrined in European law in relation to employees and etc. So that when we leave the EU, we'll still have the EU laws in terms of work protection. Now, that's a good idea, but should it be a political bargaining chip?
I don't think it's a chip. I think it's just, we've already said no law is going to change during the period after, until Parliament maybe agrees to do something.
Okay.
You know? I don't think it's a chip. People are probably worried about that at the moment, you know? Now, I've got to say...
Labour's, isn't it?
Pardon?
It's certainly Labour's issue, so to speak, you know. But as to what the implications of it are, once again, no bloody idea.
Okay,
You have an idea what's going to happen?
Do you know? How's a question? We have 3 self-employed people. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, carry on. I can hear.
I can hear you too.
You're 3 self-employed people. You all work for your own. I've put this question to you before. What would scare you about employing someone? What would put you off employing someone in this day and age?
All the blooming claptrap that goes with it. I always said I would never employ anybody anyway.
Right.
Because I watched other people friends who went out at similar time to me, start up their businesses, and then watch their businesses be destroyed by the people they employed because they didn't deliver the same level that the person who employed them wanted to achieve.
Right, okay. And what laws would, if you had to, say you got so busy you're going to have to take someone on, what laws would worry you about employing people?
Well, because I don't employ anybody, I guess I don't really know a lot of the implications.
Okay, Stephen Salk?
I contract with people to provide me with intellectual property, you know, software and bits and bobs. So it's a transactional thing for me. It's not like if I was to employ, and one day I hope I will, somebody to do work, my worry would be that I'm making a commitment to that employee, which means I've got to bring in revenue to pay that employee. That's all the red tape that goes with it.
See the red tape, and notice the word red tape. Here's a situation. By law, everybody is allowed sickness pay, statutory sick pay, up to 6 months. So you could have an employee saying to you, Stephen, thank you very much for my job. Thank you, I've passed my probationary period. Thank you very much. I don't feel well. Hi, Stephen. Doctor signing off for 6 months. Just here's my bank account to send the 6 months money to. Thank you very much. Government doesn't pay you back.
No, that's not quite the case, is it?
Yes.
I mean, you can't. You have to accrue rights, don't you?
No. Once you've done your 3 month period, by law, no. Even once you're an employee, even if you're a temporary employee, you have to give them a pension. You have to give them sick pay when they're off. First 3 days, they don't get paid. 7th day, they put in a line. And then they get paid for the 3 days after. The first 3 days, nothing. Then you can pay them. And they can keep going to the doctor and say to you, this is a long-term problem. I could be off 6 months. And you have to pay them statutory sick pay. And when the small business goes back to the government and said, this person's been off for 6 months, can I get some of that money back? And they go, no.
I don't. I find that hard to believe. I'm not saying.
Well, you remember I employ a couple of people, and I've just been through it.
6.
Up to 6 months, but it's over after a period. It's 26 weeks, and that's after 3 years they don't get it. You know, it builds up, but they could actually physically go off for 6 months, and you've got to pay them statutory sick pay, and you don't get the money back. It's £92 a week. And in the meantime, you have to take on someone else to do their job.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I just.
So there you go. That's
I mean,
right.
That makes me more determined. Wow.
So European law,
contractors, because I can't be doing with that level of responsibility, isn't it? At the end of the day, I mean, if somebody if somebody did come on board and then go, I can't see this 6 month thing. It just
I've looked into it in great detail because I had to. Okay.
It might be Scottish law, which is weird.
And I've got an HR advisor who looks after me. So European law, by the way.
Yeah.
So I don't mind I don't mind paying sickness pay if the government give me money back off the national insurance, but they don't. Yeah, so imagine 3 employees going down sick at the same time from a business.
You're so out of sync, mouth and speech. It's not true.
I'll reboot.
Okay, which is why I'm more interested in subcontracting than joint ventures.
Yeah.
Joint ventures work well. I mean, that's what I'm doing with RJ for the Udemy courses that we're doing, and it just simply, it's a lot easier, a lot simpler. And you say, right, okay, it's 50-50, job done. Or if there's 3 of you, say a third, job done. And you're all responsible for your own bit, and you only get paid if you've done your bit. So there you go.
Can we talk about something more fun?
We could talk about anything, John.
We were watching the telly about 5 months ago, and Flora the fish was on, and I stupidly said, "Oh, I wouldn't mind one of those," in jest. And on my birthday last week, Flora the fish turned up.
Okay, full screen.
It's a bubble making machine. And the best bit about it, it says suitable for ages 3 to 8 on the top. And to make sure that I didn't run out, I've got 2 litres of bubble fluid as well.
Well, you'd have to give us a demonstration next week, John.
No, you can't do it anymore. It produces far too many bubbles.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you wearing
Can you say something, Peter?
a fur-lined dressing gown, Peter?
No, it's what do you call it? A gant, what do you call it? Sleeveless thing, I'll have you know.
A slinky.
Yeah, a big fur coat.
Gant. I got it for now, so I took it. Right, where was I? I'll let you back in. What were you speaking about when I went?
I was just saying that I'm more interested in subcontracting or joint ventures as opposed to employees.
Well, see, here's another thing. A firm in Aberdeen, once the people had subcontracted them for 2 years, the taxman said they're not subcontractors, they're employees.
No, but we all do small projects.
Yeah, I know. No, but it's just interesting to see you guys, right? And I meet other people, and I says, when I see them struggling because they're really busy, I says, why don't you take someone on? Oh no, I couldn't have put up with having employees and things like that, and giving them holidays and sick pay, and having to put up with this and having to put up with that. And it does hold people back from employing people because the employees have got more. Do you know when the £1,500 to take someone to a tribunal, it was stopped, yeah, and the tribunals went down. But as soon as they put it back up, went up, and you know, people will just take their boss to a tribunal just to give them a hard time.
So yeah, we were talking about happier things now, Stephen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I struggle each week to find.
Now I've put you right on that subject. We'll move on. Yes.
I struggle each week. I actually look out for happy news stories, and there aren't any. Happy stories don't make news. Things going wrong make the news.
You know what John was talking about with his bubble blowing fish and the ages of 5 to 8. You know, we're all of a certain age, and Marvel and DC Comics have become like the rulers of the cinema. And and I never expected to sort of see the comic heroes I read in the 1960s, to see them on screen and all this sort of stuff. And Odeon did a thing where you could get posters for the Last But One Avengers thing, and I framed them and put them in the office, and it just makes me feel good every time I walk in, and it's really cool. But it's purely down to me and what, you know, John was talking about his bubble blowing fish. What have you got from the 60s that you still have in your office? And I can see you looking around now, Stephen.
I'm trying the 60s. I don't know. I got stuff from the 70s. I got books and things, but nothing.
And I'm sure it's so. As I said, at a certain age, you tend to look back. Well, you've got more to look back on than you have to look forward. But it's just see you both looking around now. What have you got, Peter, in that Aberdeen?
Well, I've got nothing to remind me of the past. Sometimes that's a good thing for me. I only like looking back on the times I had as a soldier. And
I'm not talking about personal stuff like that, Pete. I was just thinking of
objects,
things, films, themes.
Oh, films! I tell you what, when it comes on, the banana splits used to make me chuckle. Yeah, Na 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 na. The banana splits. Bingo! Oh! Remember all them people coming in, and then they would join to the cartoons. Size of an elephant. You remember that?
Yeah, what was that?
Aladdin, I think. Size of an elephant. It was during the banana splits. And what about this call? Who remember this? Ongo Chongo! Remember that? Ongo Chongo.
I'll raise you. I'll do the top trumps on it because I remember Space 1999 well before it was 1999. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, with the cardboard falling down set.
Yeah. and now every explosion always seemed to represent a sparkler or something like that.
Tish and Kelly are playing along, and Tish is saying she doesn't have anything. She was born in '64, except for a good memory of things since she was 3. And Kelly's got something from the '60s, which is a vest, and that's in his office. So there you are.
And what's that you got there, John?
This is a model of Matt Letizia. Do you remember?
Heard the name, yeah.
He used to work for. I used to work for Sanderson's, who sponsored Sheffield, the Blades. Not Wednesday, United. Yeah, no, can't remember which way around it is now. And it says Sanderson's across his front, and we all got one of these.
When was the first time that you got the World Cup coins from Esso?
Oh, I remember them.
Yeah. I've still got 2 or 3 sets of those kicking around.
Apparently,
I came across some loose ones the other day.
1976 or 78 or something like that. And because me and my brother, we collected the full set, covered it all in cling film, put it in the loft at my mum's. I'm not sure where it is now, but they kind of. They don't do that anymore, do they? They do cards and things.
No.
Yeah, it's big business.
I'll tell you what I sometimes do in YouTube. I'll actually go on to programs from the past. Remember London Weekend Television going dun 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 dun, and then the program would come on, and it's good to look at remember things like on the buses and all that. So I'll get you, Butler.
I'll get you, Butler.
So just a minute, John's showing us something. What have we got?
It's a Microsoft Sales Specialist certificate for me from 20th of the 3rd, 98.
Wow. Well,
and I was qualified in MOLP, and I don't even remember what that was.
I don't know.
Back office and desktop.
I went to a place called The Grove in Slough with ICL doing a technical course in 1978. Found the manual the other day, and I remember about 6% of it, but it was really quite strange going back to those times. They always used to put us up in hotels along the Heathrow corridor, and then bus us to Slough, and it was a life, I tell you. Here we go, framed sporting memorabilia, signed shirts. That's what you got, Paul, from the olden days.
I'll tell you what I did do last year. I've got a friend, Edward, OB HR specialist. He's a black guy, Nigeria, and I said, I'm going to YouTube, right, and look up a program called Love Thy Neighbor. And when he came back to me, he says, I can't believe that was on television, Peter. You better believe it, that's what it was on. But I says, but if you look, it's always the white man that they're taking the pee out of.
Yeah, it's like Garnet, isn't it? He was, the writers were very clever.
His name was?
Sorry, Jack Smethurst.
William Smethurst, his name was.
Yeah.
Was it not Jack Smethurst?
No, William Smethurst.
William Smethurst. Because I remember when the best one is he had to go and get an operation in the hospital, and the neighbours come out to see him in the black guys, and he says, I'll tell you what, he says, I was nearly dead, and I'd like to shake the hand of the man that gave me his blood. He says, put it there, brother.
The reason I remember it was William Smethurst is simply there was a William Smethurst in my class at school.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
And you just got the name associations and you just don't forget.
And the black guy ended up appearing in the EastEnders in this later part of life.
Rudolph, what is his surname? Rudolph something or other.
Is that his name? Not near enough, or not enough.
Do you remember, is it Schools Out with John Alderton?
Yeah. I love that. And what about Mind Your Language? You remember that one?
That was disgraceful, wasn't it, really?
It was racist.
Do you know people were both right?
Right.
What's that?
Peter were both right. His name is Jack William Smethurst.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Do you remember Capital City? Probably early 80s, the yuppie period. It was all these financial people in London.
No.
Oh God, it was so stereotypical, but it was a precursor to the Big Bang.
Good. I remember one when I was in Germany as a soldier. We didn't have TV, just German TV.
You were lucky.
But then British Forces Broadcasting Service started, and we got TV, and we got Coronation Street. And I remember the guys used to sit and watch it, and we went over to serve in Northern Ireland. And when we come back, I remember being in a deep sleep in my bed in single rooms, and I had the TV on, and I fell asleep, and then I woke up to the sound of Coronation Street, and I actually lay there and I says, "Oh, phew, we made it back home." You know, I always remember that tune. So it does something for me when I hear it. You know.
Yeah, I get that.
Rudolph Walker.
That his name is Rudolph Walker.
Black guy. Nina Baden Semper was the black lady.
Yes.
The other one was Kate Williams, the white lady.
Yeah.
I guess those things are still on YouTube somewhere.
Oh, you can get them on YouTube, and then you can get Mr. Rigsby. Oh, Mr. Rigsby.
Oh, Rising Down.
Leonard Rossiter.
That ran. Love Thy Neighbour ran from 72 to 76.
Yeah. I wonder what they would do if they put it on now.
It wouldn't be loud. You wouldn't get
So.
no commissioning agent.
You wouldn't get away with it today.
It wouldn't be loud.
No,
you know, when you were pitching that sort of racist, sexist, misogynist, all of ists. Nobody.
Right. You're not allowed to. I'm scared to let off in a lift now. So you'll report me.
Have you seen that sketch with the two Scotsmen and the voice operated lift?
Yeah.
That's it, Steve. We can close now. That's it.
Man, banned from left.
Oh, good.
Is that how you wanted this item to end? You see the headlines in the Daily Hate, you know, man arrested after fight. It's all right, I'm from Aberdeen.
And you would hear every nationality, and it was in the lift where you'd hear them saying their different phrases. Oh my God! By the way, did I tell you I think I'm going to do an item on the Comedy Club in Aberdeen. I have a Thursday night, and it's going to be about me and Miss Cycling. Did you know?
Is that funny? I thought your cycling was serious stuff.
No, there's lots of things I've picked up in it, and I'm writing them down. I say, I must do that, you know.
I'll be back in a second.
And no, I actually got into trouble on Monday. I led a little group, and I says, right, we're going to go over here. And one woman shouted me because I was going too fast. Me, too fast. Wow.
It's because you're super fit now, Pete.
I really see a difference now since I got the iron tablets, you know. But no, there's
No, Iron Man.
the iron. There's a few little funny things, and you meet some characters. You know, you get some eccentric people. You know, and the biggest debate is the scones or scones. What do you call them? Scones or scones?
They're scones in this.
Scones. Well, we call and there's a big debate if the cafe we go to doesn't have scones. There's riots. So I once got the last one, and the lady behind me wanted a scone, and what a bit of fun I had with that.
Peter, you're terrible.
Right. So, right, bring back up the adjudicator, or is he away with embarrassment?
No, I'm away relaxing and resting, because I've got 3 more shows today. So
All right.
this is the beginning.
3 more shows today.
Yes, indeed. And the first
You know,
one of those.
Mhm.
Sorry, Peter.
Mhm.
First one of those, 3 p.m. today in the UK, 10 a.m. Eastern, is Lottie Hearn from Ireland, David Burrows from Canada, and Cheryl Piper from the USA. And they'll be talking about camera confidence, which Peter and John don't like, and also about reputations online, because it's hard built, hard won, but easily lost. So they'll be talking about that, and that's at
And
10 a.m.
you're operating the controls, are you?
I'm producing that show, yes.
What time is that in your money?
3 p.m.
Oh, I've got a meeting at 3. What a shame. Anyway.
Catch the recording, Peter.
Replay.
Yeah.
Oh, but you can't interact and replay the same.
Well, no, it's best to be live, but
Yeah.
I'll just leave that there for a second. So that's the next show today. I don't have a show card for the next one after that, but that'll do.
Incidentally, is there anything in Be Live I should know? Because I'm going to have to start using it again. Anything I should know it's new?
No, polls.
Polls.
You can add a poll, and I'm just going to try and find it.
What's your poll saying about it?
A poll about a poll. You can actually ask people questions whilst you're live, and they can vote. Okay, so you've got a multi-choice, and you can either have a knowledge quiz if you want to ask people 10 questions. They could know when they got the right answer out of the 4 that you've given. A whole range of things you can do with a poll, but it's simple and straightforward to operate, and you just press the add a poll button. Okay, all good. Right, so where do we go next? We've no more news. There's no good news. We've done politics, we've done America, we've done...
What about the drone at Heathrow? I mean, that's 2 airports brought to a stop by a drone and a bridge.
Well,
in 10 days.
It's absolutely shocking for the money that they make. They haven't had that thought about before now, but they would rather rip every pound coin or euro out your pocket than spend money on defence of their passengers. That should have been looked at long ago. Sorry?
I said, I wish I hadn't asked now.
And I think every drone operator, they shouldn't be given out now. There should be a register. There should be training involved now.
There is.
I know.
Pete, doesn't matter. You can build a drone if you have the skills in about a day, and you can switch off the geofencing. You can switch off all the safety or the regulatory stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So registration will make bugger all difference. Next.
But again, hey, listen, we've got to have air rifle licenses now.
Yeah, exactly. Right? But so
in Scotland only, I'll have you know, and it's the same with drones.
Yeah, it's not the same with drones, because drones are, when you buy a drone, you can buy the proper ones, the regulated ones for sure, technically sound ones for sure, which don't allow you to go into geocached areas. But that's the whole point, isn't it? You can't legislate for people who will build it out of hooky parts, all sorts of stuff. I don't know what the surely there must be a way of just blocking signals to these pieces of kit. They
Well,
just run at a certain frequency.
The problem is with blocking signals, they could be up there when they're blocked, it could fall onto a car or something, cause a crash, go over a bridge, into a river, turn upside down, and folk drown.
Yeah, but there must, if they're over Heathrow, you'll presumably be able to catch them pretty quickly, and they'll be falling onto the. I guess they could fall onto the runway, couldn't they? And all sorts of.
But they could be 40 mile away operating it or something. I don't know if
You've got a good see it.
No, that's not that. That's no signal would go 40 miles, mate.
Well, there must. I can't remember. Was it 40? Somebody could be a fair distance away and operate it.
Maybe so, yeah. But I don't know. But the batteries also don't last for more than half an hour as well.
Yeah.
Those are really expensive drones where they even last that long.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of your drones you get 10 minutes and then you've had it.
I mean, drones are an absolutely wonderful invention. I mean, they're used in the oil rigs a lot now for surveys. They put them up and they go and check in a bit of a kit, and that saves putting a man underneath in a rope and things like that. So they're really part of society now. But it's like anything. It's just like air rifles, and people will still have air rifles in Scotland that don't have a license.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, but there's. I suppose you'd have to use an intelligence-led approach, wouldn't you? So
yeah,
for these drones, I don't know what to say.
There are people still driving without vehicle licenses. There are people driving without MOTs. There are people driving without insurance, and it's the good ones that suffer because of it. Our insurance goes up, and that will always be what society is. Now, when they catch these sort of people, they should be sent to jail or whatever it is, and really saying, no, that's what you get for flying a drone near the airport. What do you mean 10 years? It'll give you a reflection time to think about it.
Okay, might be time to say we're getting close to the hour. Just as a technical note, drones can fly for 20 to 30 minutes up to 2 kilometres away from the person actually operating them. But that's obviously the higher end.
How much money you spend on the drone? Because there's $39.99 drone in Aldi at the moment. But
there you go.
A couple of 100 yards range.
Yeah.
Right. So we can all go off afterwards to Aldi and get our drones, and then we can report back next week on our adventures. Okay, we're coming towards the end of the show, John. Over to you.
I got my renewal yesterday, and my insurance has gone up by 10% on the car. £569 from 510 quid. So look out for when yours comes through the door. Anyway, I seem to have ruined the atmosphere talking about increases in insurance costs. I think it's goodbye from all of us, and it's goodbye from Flora. So when you see the bubbles floating along, you'll think of Flora the fish. And it's goodbye from Mr. Loud up there in the north of Scotland. Goodbye from Mr. Oh, no, I wasn't pointing at them necessarily. I was pointing up north there, Stephen.
Right.
Goodbye from Mr. Wiltshire down there. And goodbye from Mr. Stoke, who's sort of that way.
Good weekend going, guys. Good weekend.
What are you doing?
Stoke, new manager. It's going to be brilliant. 6-0.
Yeah, bad news, isn't it? 6-0 down. Anyway, and now it's goodbye from just south of Birmingham, from Solihull. And bye, Trish. Take care, Trish.
Bye.